Woo! What's going on, guys? Orange Form coming at you guys today with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Detroit Lions quarterback Jared Goff. Okay? This just in. You're allowed to criticize Jared Goff. It's really okay to do so. You know, it's not a bad. Everybody else can be criticized on this team. Why can't you criticize the quarterback? Especially if he's not that good of a quarterback. Especially if he's average to below average. You can really criticize him. Damn the injuries, damn all that, damn the play calling. You can criticize the quarterback. Now, he is the most polarizing sports figure in Detroit sports today, I think. There's so many different opinions on him. It's like a tug of war right now going on between fan bases. Some love him, some hate him, some are in between, but it's just a battle right now with him. Now, he has this fan base, like I said, at each other's throats, man. He really does. Like, you know, especially I've been going at it with some subscribers. I've been going at it with some fans on social media. You know, it's just like you say anything negative about this guy, it's like you're literally beating up somebody's grandmother. I've never quite seen it's almost like a cult following with some of these truthers. It's kind of insane, actually. It's nuts, especially for a guy that is so middle of the road, so average, or even below average. It's just it boggles my mind that you can't say anything. Like, you can't say anything wrong about him. I made a video about him, talking about his game. He was efficient last, against the Bears. He had a really nice showing at the end of the game. Was really good. Led the team on a 91-yard scoring drive, and I get called names for it. I get called a hater. I get called a child. I get called all kinds of things, man. I get told that Matthew Stafford is having a worst year. Who gives a shit? Like, I was told that Justin Fields is not as good as a thrower. My 10-year-old can throw better than Justin Fields. She's more accurate. So I don't understand what you're telling me. And Matthew Stafford can't hear you because of the ring. He can't hear you because of the ring. It's so loud. His Super Bowl ring doesn't matter. He doesn't hear you. It doesn't matter. Matthew Stafford's having a terrible year. Of course, concussion protocol. Getting killed on the O-line. No running game. No this, no that. Excuses, right? All built up. Some have them, some don't. But Stafford's getting killed out there. He really is. And he's having a bad year. It just happens. And it's good for us. So telling me that Matthew Stafford and Justin Fields are not as good this year is completely irrelevant to the subject. Because that's like telling me that water is wet. No shit. It's irrelevant. It's completely irrelevant. It doesn't make any sense. This is a quarterback-driven league, okay? It really is. Quarterbacks get blamed for everything. Quarterbacks get blamed for anything. They get blamed for the weather. They get blamed for how bad your relationship is. They get blamed for, and God forbid, play on the field. Like, say it ain't so. Play on the field? Well, that's crazy. Really? Play on the field? Well, let's dive into some of those plays on the field. Goff and this offense looked like the second coming of the greatest show on turf. If you don't know who those guys are, go check out those. It was the St. Louis Rams led by Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk. Animals. A fantastic offense that was out of this world. Okay, probably the best we've ever seen. Now, they looked like that for the first 4 games. And that includes not just Goff, because he wasn't great in all those 4 games. Okay? It includes a mixture, which the Rams had, of running and passing. Okay? Now, Goff had 2 excellent games in those first 4 games of the season, where we had an incredible offense. Number 1 offense in the NFL for about a month we had. He had a phenomenal game versus the Washington Commanders, at home, and he had a phenomenal game versus the Seattle Seahawks at home. 2 great games where he threw for 8 touchdowns total in those 2 games, 4 each. Fantastic. Fantastic game from Jared Goff. And there it is. In those 2 games, he was mediocre at best in those other 2. But the running game has been really, really good. Back and forth combination in the first month of football. It's a fact. Go look it up. So then that leaves 7 games we've played. We've played what? A total of, we're 3-6. We've played 9 games on the year. Okay? Is it 9 games? 9, 10 games? 9, 10 games. Yeah, we're 3-6. We played 9 games. So that leaves 7 more games, 6, 7 more games where he has thrown for 7 touchdowns. 7. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 games. 7 touchdowns. And that is supposed to be, you're not allowed to criticize that. You can't be critical of a guy that's thrown a touchdown a game. You're not allowed to. You can't do that, right? You're not allowed to do that because he's a Detroit Lion, right? 7 picks, 5 fumbles, lost a few. Don't really know how many he lost, but 5 fumbles, lost a few. And I'm not allowed to voice my concern. Damn that. I'm going to voice my concern about Jared Goff, and everybody else should too. But for some reason, Jared Goff is untouchable. It's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. It really don't make any sense. It just does not make any sense. Like, what are we doing here? I don't understand what we're doing here. You're allowed to be critical of a player, whether you like him or not. You can like him, you can dislike him. It doesn't matter. But everything needs to be put in place for this guy to be good. No injuries, perfect play calling, execution, scheme, blah, blah, etc., etc., etc. But you know what? That's not reality. It's not reality whatsoever. Nobody's ever healthy through the whole season. You don't have all your guys at 100%. Players are going to miss. That's the name of the game. It's football. These are grown men, literally like car wrecks running into each other. Nobody is going to stay healthy. So in order for Jared Goff to be perfect and have those great games like he had those first four games of the year, 3-4 games of the year, whatever it was, he needs everybody to be healthy? What kind of delusional world are we living in here? That's delusional thinking. It don't fly. It does not fly. And stop telling me that this guy is a top 10 quarterback in the NFL when he's clearly not playing like one at the moment. All his numbers come from the first month of football. All of them. Especially the touchdowns. This offense, and it's the offense, not just him, they went through a drought where they didn't score a damn point or a touchdown for 8 to 10 quarters at one point. But he didn't have any guys to throw to, Mark. He didn't have St. Brown. He didn't have DJ Chark, who everybody destroyed, by the way. Who every Lions fan has destroyed, by the way. Now all of a sudden he's a key missing piece in this offense, eh? Get out of town. Like, for real. Big thing he has missed Swift for a bit, and he did miss Josh Reynolds. But that's the name of the game. All quarterbacks do it. They all go through it. Justin Herbert's going through it. He's missing Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. Those two are two. Keenan Allen especially is probably a future Hall of Famer. Mike Williams is a pretty good wide receiver, big-bodied. And he's struggling. That's perfectly fine. That's going to happen. But a lot of it, like, fans just love to make the excuse for it, though. For constantly doing it. Like, we're just constantly doing it. It's just, Herbert knows it's not going to be a situation that he can, he can't solve that. He can't solve that situation. He's going to have to go through whatever he goes through. And he's not having a great year because some guys are missing, but that's the name of the game. Stop making excuses for every little thing. Justin Herbert is a top 5, top 10 quarterback in reality, though. That's a reality. What's Goff's excuse? Like it's like he needs everything to be perfect, and it's just not going to happen. It just won't happen. So we're sitting there and people are telling me that he's a top 10 quarterback, right? He's playing at a top 10 level. Some guy even told me on social media today, and I couldn't believe he said this. Some guy told me he's playing at a top 10 level his last 3 games. I'm like, oh, how's that so? He's thrown 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and a 65 completion percentage in 3 games. I'm like, that's your stat to prove that he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL? Because he's thrown 1.33 touchdowns a game the past 3 games. 1.33. And completed 65% of his high percentage short passes that he throws. And that's fine. That's what he is. He shouldn't be throwing the ball downfield a lot. Yes, he's going to have to at times, but he's not completing those long passes of air yards 20 plus at a high rate. He gets them downfield sometimes, of course, but his bread and butter is short area passes, which he is doing pretty well in. And the numbers prove it. And we saw him trying to throw a ball last week on a Hail Mary, which was a pretty stupid play call, where they had him at the 50, I believe it was. They were at the 50, and he tried to chuck it, and it went he was a little bit beyond, I think he was a little bit beyond the 50, so he was still in Lions territory. He threw that ball with all his might, 45 yards. So don't sit there and tell me he has a strong arm. He doesn't. His bread and butter is hitting short area passes, which is fine. But now you got a guy that's going to be coming back soon, or coming back, make his debut, Jameson Williams. It looks like Jameson is going to be back, hopefully for the Jacksonville Jaguars game. That's 3 weeks. We play the Giants, play the Bills on Thanksgiving, and then we play the Jaguars. So it sounds like he's going to be back. Do you know what type of player Jameson Williams is? Do you know? He's Tyreek Hill. That's what he is. He's got the speed like a Tyreek Hill. I'm not saying he's exactly Tyreek Hill, but he's a deep threat. Yeah, you're going to see him on crossing routes. You're going to see him on slants. You're going to see him get short area passes so he can use his feet and his legs, of course. But his bread and butter is going down the field and creating separation. Pulling safeties off coverage, getting double covered, hopefully work that area within the middle. He's going to open some guys up just for his speed alone. But when Jared Goff has to throw to him and hit him in stride, close your damn eyes. Close them and pray that it gets to him. And that's no shade. That's just reality. And you Goff truthers can't stand reality. You hate it. You hate reality. That's why you come at me so hard. It's facts. He is a middle of the road quarterback to below. I put him at around, like I said, I think what did I say? Around 16 to 21. Some of these are crazy. CBS Sports 23, NFL.com 21, like I said. The Sportsman 26. ESPN has him at 29. Sports Illustrated 19. Rotoballer 18. That's about where I'm at from 16 to 21. Sporting News 23, like I said earlier, man. So it's not just me. It's people that actually watch this kid play. He's nothing special. And I don't know what you guys are going to do when he's not the quarterback of the future here. Are you going to curl up in like a baby in a corner, all in a fetal position, weeping like a baby, like a kid, like you just got your, like you just found coal in your stocking? What are you going to do? You're going to rip all your posters down, especially going to keep, what are you going to do with those posters up top on the ceiling? Because those ones are the popular ones. Those are the populars. Those are the ones that he's probably got his shirt off. You know, his hair's all slicked back. I would really love to know what you're going to do there. I'm super curious. Is that snarky enough for you, buddy? Snark? You know what I mean? I am sick of people not being able to have an opinion on a player here. And people think that this guy's got his gold jacket already made. He's not good. He's not the future. He will be replaced. If it's not 2023, it's going to be 2024. He is not the answer here. And I just want to know what you guys are going to do when he becomes the Houston Texans backup. I would really love to know. I would really love to know. I'm so curious on it. And it's just, it's insane to me. It's insane to me. You know, I was always a big Matt Stafford fan, okay? I always was. And I think you guys already know this. And I've talked about Stafford almost like he was my own. Almost like I was protecting him from some type of evil doing. You know, but now I realize maybe I was a little bit overboard with how good I thought he was. I think Stafford was a good quarterback. I really do. I still think he's a top 10, top 12 player in the NFL. I think from like 8, 9 to 12. Not this year. Not this year. He's not having a good year. That whole Rams team is in turmoil, and I'm loving that. But I always backed him up relentlessly. Sometimes too much. You know, some was justified, some wasn't. But now I'm kind of seeing it. I'm like, man, was I that bad? Where I wouldn't let anybody criticize him? Because I'd probably get to that point at times. I probably needed a 1-800 number. I'm wondering if there's a 1-800 number for you Goff truthers to get. Like, should you be calling somebody? Should you call a psychiatrist? Should you talk to someone? Sit one of your buddies down. You know, call up your dad, call up a buddy, and just let it all out, man. Let it all out about why you like this kid so much and why you think he's such a good quarterback. When it's clear as a bell that his majority of his stats came within the first 4 weeks of the season. And then now we have seen the real Jared Goff. Now, and you guys would just point to injuries and blame Ben Johnson, blame everybody else except the guy actually throwing the football. Well, this guy can't get open. Well, this guy's so good. Meanwhile, half this fan base drooled over guys like Tom Kennedy. You hated DJ Chark. And now all of a sudden he's an asset. Josh Reynolds, even some of you scoffed at him. He was actually really consistent. Really good wide receiver for Goff. And he is missing him. I know when to have a little bit of sympathy because he has missed some guys. But it's an excuse. He is a $30 million friggin' quarterback. Not playing like a $30 million quarterback. And this fan base, majority of, accepts mediocrity like they always have and they always will. But I'm not going to accept it. I'm not accepting mediocrity from this guy. I'm not. He's gonna be gone. It doesn't matter what I say, anyways. It doesn't matter. I'm just having fun with the video. You know, I'm having fun with the video, and I can't wait for the responses. It's gonna be fantastic how angry people are gonna get. Oh God, you know what I mean. And I want this team to win. I really do. But he's not the guy to do it. He's not going to be the guy to do it. The team's never going to be perfect. We need a quarterback here that can put the team on his back or shoulder, something. Except Goff, man, you people coddle him like he's a baby, swallow him up like he's some type of untouchable, some type of future Hall of Fame quarterback here, and he's clearly not. He's not even playing at a top 10 level. But people will tell me he's got those top 10 stats. A girth. People will just tell me that. Meanwhile, that's all from 1 month of football. And it's still there. Because he was great. The offense was great. He was great for 2 games. 2, not 4. 2. He's had a couple good games in between. And he's thrown some majority stinkers out there. Majority. But that's just nobody cares. Especially the truthers. You'll only look at one half of football. 1 quarter. You'll just look at that 1 quarter and then you'll make your judgment. And man, that's how good he is. He can be that good all the time. It's mind-boggling. But I've gone on for too long. I had a little bit of fun. Remember, you're allowed to be critical of your football players, especially your quarterback that's making $30 million. And that's way too much. Making way too much to be as how bad he is. And that's it, guys. Thanks for the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Don't forget to like and comment. Share this video. I'm out of breath. Whew. Having a little bit of fun. I really appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot. One Pride. Go Lions. Boom. Jared Goff.